Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome to another Daily Masters cast. And today it is going to be a TvZ. So up the top left side of the map, we do have a yellow Zerg player, VortiX. And of course, we have cast him in a few tournaments so far. And down the bottom right side of the map is our red Terran player. His name is actually, Jagon, but he is most often known as Project with a 7 in place of the J. So yeah, not quite his name in this game, but he is most commonly known as Project. And yeah, I mean, after the Daily Masters cast we had yesterday, Stardust versus Lucifron, we definitely have a lot to live up to, and we're going to see exactly how well these players do in this 1v1 Masters level game that was taken. I think it was from one of the Zotacs, actually. It may have been from one of the Zotac Cups, so yeah. I'm going to have a crack and going to see how these players do and what's going on. Can't really report anything new from the last time I casted Daily Masters. It has only been one day, of course, so not always going to be new and exciting things going on, but I still have got my new HD 1080p webcam, and it does look absolutely beautiful sitting on top of my monitor. And yeah, next time I cast a ladders game, we will definitely put that into action, and yeah, we'll have to see exactly how well it does. I'm not too worried about the quality because I don't think there's going to be many times where I'm going to do full 1080p recording. Most of the time it's just going to be in the corner of the screen, so even if it's not that good quality, you guys aren't going to be able to tell anyway. So yeah, should be fine. And yeah, just moving on in the game. And as we are talking about this, I've completely cast the Asus ROG. I'm just finishing up uploading the semi-finals right now. And actually, Control-Shift-F, there we go, Control-Shift-F, so I don't have to keep moving the mouse. And yeah, there we go. So the grand finals are going to be coming up in a matter of days. Right now, I'm trying to upload at least 2 videos a day. So one of those is the Daily Masters, and the other one is a tournament video. And occasionally, when I have a couple of videos that are not too big, like the average video is like a gig and a half or so, but sometimes I get videos that are like half a gig, bit less than a gig, and then I can upload like 3 videos a day comfortably. I like to upload them comfortably because I don't want to try and upload too much and have them all back up and miss out on a Daily Masters or something like that. Definitely do not want that to happen. So yeah, we still got one more game in my 2v2 fan games cast with Sylvanos, and that will be coming up sometime in the near future, in the very near future actually. If I uploaded them at the same time, at the same order that I cast them, then it would be up already, but I figured I'd space it out a little bit. Tournaments, I definitely want to keep those going out as often as I can. And yeah, because I've had the WCS Season 2 final replays for like a week now, and definitely want to cast them. I definitely want to get them uploaded as soon as I can. I probably couldn't have actually cast them by now anyway, or not much of them, because I was out all weekend. I was down at Phillip Island, just chilling out for pretty much all Friday, Saturday and Sunday. It was absolutely fantastic, but of course no real chance to cast any videos. I had to upload 3 or 4 days worth of Daily Masters beforehand, just to make sure that they were continually going up every single day. But now we're getting back into it, and the weekend coming up, I'm going to cast a crap load of WCS, so they're all going to be up nice and quick for next week. And these Hellions, man, they're doing a decent job, killing a fair amount of Lings. Not really many workers though, and the amount of Lings that VortiX is able to get up is quite scary at the moment. We have a look at the structures. He hasn't got any advanced tech. Project starting to get the starport out pretty quick. He's going off the Hellbat offensive, which is going to help him. He needs to change this rally point. There we go. And the 2 Hellions out there should be able to knock these guys back quite easily. And there we go, Project going for his expansion. And yeah, as is normal with the Terran versus Zerg, the Terran usually not going to be going for any insanely crazy sort of expansion stuff like they would against a Protoss. Against a Protoss, Terrans can expand quite fast. Against a Zerg, it's usually a lot safer just to give it a little bit of time, just to wait a little while before you expand. And usually around the 8 to 10 minute mark is when you want to start to expand. If you extend past the 10-minute mark, that's when the Zerg economy can really start to get off. Although I don't know if that's going to be a major problem here, because VortiX is going for a heavy amount of Ling tech in here. He's going to try and surround the Hellions here. Very nice thing. Getting one Hellion trapped, but the other 3 managing to get out, and really great job. Now I'm going to say that yeah, Project is he could be quite happy to expand right now, because I mean there's nothing really crazy that he needs to worry about. It's just Lings on the map, and VortiX is actually getting a ton of workers out. So in fact, if Project does not expand within the next minute or two, then he is going to be in a very bad position in this game. He definitely needs to expand soon, because he can see the 3rd base. I don't know if he has any idea of the worker count for VortiX. He has taken out quite a few of the workers with those Hellions, but VortiX just went absolutely nuts on the worker count, and he's still quite ahead. That's 5 workers ahead of Project at the moment. Now, it does not dropping off any Hellbats. I thought that thing might have had Hellbats in it, but not quite. These Hellions are going to be distracting all the Lings. The Hellions coming in here, roasting a whole bunch of drones. Not a huge amount, only 3 or 4 dead so far, but they're going to keep chasing them around and may kill quite a lot more. There we go. Total's about 8, 9, I think, at the moment. And look at this beautiful finish there. Although they're not actually going to... a little bit of a mistake there, I feel like. He should have been able to save at least 3 of those, but only 1 of them actually surviving due to the medevac moving away a bit too fast. So, not at all good. And Project must feel like he actually finished off all the Lings. He's didn't realise there's still 1 Ling left, and that Ling may very well be able to snipe off a worker if Project isn't paying attention. But if he's paying attention, that Ling will just get owned without really doing anything other than scouting, I feel like. It'll still be able to get a good scout off. And here we go. Here's the Hellbat drop. And so he's going to need a nice bit of a diversion to sort of get that off. And this medevac, I feel like this medevac is going to be the diversion. He's going to try and drop a Hellion over there. And here we go. The Hellbat's coming in, but the Spore Crawler is definitely up right now. This medevac is going to die. There's nothing he can really do about that. And my god, did those Hellbats just disappear into thin air? I feel like a couple of Banelings just ran into them. And not good at all, but a couple of Hellbats coming down. I feel like they either waddled over or another dropship got them over here. And unfortunately, nothing for them to really attack over here. The Lings are sort of macroing up, getting a decent amount before they go in there. And a Hellbat coming over here, reinforcing, just sort of gets cut out. And the Hellbats are going to take quite a lot of damage there. He accidentally saved the Hellion instead of the second Hellbat, so not good for him, but yeah, he still managed to save 1 Hellbat. And this guy is, I think he's trying to kill that drone, I'm not sure, but 1 Hellbat by itself not really able to do too much. And here we go, Hellbat fully healed up by the medevac. Here comes another couple of Hellbats. But I feel like VortiX has the measure of these Hellbat drops by now. He's taken quite a bit of worker damage, but I think he's starting to get on top of them. And you can see he's not even bothering to mine at this base at the moment. He's still very wary about these Hellbats. And if a Project was... I would suggest the Project just kept moving on, because stopping here, not a good idea. He just keep moving on, going up to this base and dropping over there instead, at least getting a couple of attacks. But maybe he was a bit indecisive there, maybe he just wasn't paying attention, but he did lose all of those forces. And it does seem so far like, I mean, Project is doing some very good offenses here. He's moving out, but I'm really liking the play from VortiX so far. He's been able to do a decent job he hasn't completely not lost anything, but he's done a decent job so far. And he's kept his macro going quite well considering how many units he's lost. But, on the other hand, Project has quite a lot of workers right now. He is 62 over 49. So those guys may have just been a bit of a feint to allow him to get a crap load of workers up. But workers cannot stop a baneling push like this. He's going to need something else. And look at this massive amount of banelings. The final baneling's going in here. He got like 6 or 7 workers down. The rest of them managing to survive. The Ling's going to try and come in here. Not really doing that much. And meanwhile, Project is sending off a bunch of Hellbats over here. And 2 more Hellbats. They should be able to do quite a lot of damage. The Queen is going to run for it. And with 4 Hellbats total, it's possible he may actually be able to take out this expansion. And Project, I was not quite sure if he was going to be able to take out a player like VortiX. I was beginning to get the tiny feeling that VortiX was just better than Project, but we are definitely seeing right here that Project is not going to let himself be bullied by this Zerg player. He's definitely capable of doing drops while just defending his base at the same time, while building this command center at the same time. He really needs to keep building this command center. Although the SCV is somewhere, it's actually going up. The health is still pretty low though. And here we go, a bunch of Hellbats coming in, really pushing this Hellbat offensive. And the thing is, I mean, VortiX has been going for banelings for so long. He hasn't transitioned into roaches. He's been going for the Spire tech instead, going for Mutiling. And with this 3rd base up, with the gas on it, I definitely feel like he can actually get something going, but the hatchery going down at the very last second, and all of the harassment finally starting to pay off. And if he can get the spawning pool as well, that's going to be huge, but there's just too many banelings waiting to see this off. And what he really would like to get down right now is the Spire, but I'm not even sure that he knows it exists. He has not scouted it so far. So the mutas may come to him as a bit of a surprise, but of course, the fact that it's the 17-minute mark and he's only fighting Lings, he's trying to use up the banelings here, because of course the banelings all explode when they hit the marine. They're not quite going to work, but a nice bit of a medevac over there may allow this other force to drop down, finish off the spawning pool, and that would be pretty huge. If he goes for the spawning pool now, I think he can definitely take it out. And meanwhile, let's see what's going on here. It's a bunch of Lings. The mutas have not really shown their faces yet, and the spawning pool goes down, manages to save all of the marines. So that is going to be a setback, because of course with a half-decent marine force, I mean, mutas are going to be not doing very well. They're going to get hit quite hard. So he's going to have to rely on his Lings, and this is definitely going to slow down the Ling production, having to rebuild the spawning pool. But he's already got a very decent number of Lings already, and you got to remember the spawning pool is the basic production building of the Zerg player, so it doesn't take that long to rebuild it. If he knocks it down again, it could be very bad, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. It's all the way over here, so it's a lot harder to attack that position, especially now that mutas are on the map, because the medevacs are going to have to go through either the 3rd or the main base to get to this 2nd base, and mutas are so fast, and they just rip them out of the sky. And here we go, an absolute ton of Lings coming out now. And VortiX is he's been taking quite a beating from Project, and Project is definitely, if nothing else, he has definitely put VortiX on the defensive for the longest time. But now with this very large flock of Mutalisks, I'm not sure if flock is the correct term, but we'll go with it. And the SCVs are dying in record numbers. A bunch of Marines coming out, but the mutas, they're just going to skip over. And yeah, Project is trying his very best, but the mutas continuing to move. They are not staying in one place for any length of time, constantly staying in front of the Marines. There's already a group of Marines up here waiting for them though, but Project not quite on the ball with this game. He's too worried about this drop over here, which does get knocked away, but he's finally going to see that this one's coming out, and the mutas finally taking some hard hits, and they're going to run away, losing a few of them. Meanwhile, he's taken out this 4th base, did not cancel that, he was too busy taking care of his mutas. And what's the damage so far though? I feel like that's just too much damage to have taken. He's now down 24 workers. And with one fell swoop of the muta pack, I feel like VortiX has just taken a commanding lead in this game. And yeah, I mean, from here, all he has to do is just keep pushing the economy, keep getting those lings, and just keep harassing Project. And in a very, very short amount of time, I feel like he's going to be in a position to just overwhelm this army, because Hellbats and Marines and stuff like that, they're good, but Banelings on creep, I don't think he's really got what it takes here. I really don't think so. He's going to try and push the creep back, and it's a good idea, but sooner or later you have to face the Zerg on the creep. I mean, no Zerg is stupid enough to have a massive army and engage off the creep if they're in a defensive position. If they're attacking the Terran player in the Terran's base, sure, they're going to be fighting off the creep. But if they're defending their own base, they're not going to be fighting off the creep. Alright, he's a little bit off the creep now. And, okay, I gotta say, that was actually a bit of a mistake there by VortiX. He did get a little bit off the creep, and that little bit of terrain off the creep actually allowed Project to really take those Banelings out before they could get in range. And yeah, I mean, that was it. He was off the creep a little bit, and he was sort of drip feeding his Banelings in a little bit. He was not in a huge clump going in. It was sort of drip feeding, and I actually feel really bad now because I just said no player would be stupid enough to fight defensively off the creep, and then VortiX. I am sorry, VortiX, for saying that. I did not mean to imply that you are stupid, but you did make a bit of a blunder there, fighting just a little bit off the creep. Just this little bit off the creep, but it was enough for the Marauders to have that little bit of time for the Marauders and the Marines to kill the Banelings before they got in range, and that was basically what finished it off. I feel like VortiX may have had the forces he needed. He definitely had the economy that he needed. I feel like he may have had the forces, but it was not an efficient trade-off. I mean, Project lost very, very little in the exchange, and VortiX lost all of his ground forces simply because of that little bit of non-creep. So great positioning by Project, pulling back to that non-creep section when he saw the Banelings coming in, and yeah, it won him the game. So congratulations to Project for that beautiful, beautiful win. And yeah, thank you very, very much for watching this game. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another Daily Masters Cast.